for the cream renegade. For the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Starts with a run by Allen. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The start less than ideal as they already face a second and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
12.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Looking deep for Julio. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. He won't go down. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
He's got Fuller. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down.
I think the best offenses love to give the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Eric Kendricks in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hey, go orange 5-4. Alpha! Yeah, Rocky.
Play action now. Rivers. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch. And And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Dylan Cole, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. J.J. Nelson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing again. Rivers on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Forced out to his left. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
This is taken at the 15. Shifts by him. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Nice job. Nice patience right there. Put him on the right side. Let him work his way across. Put the ball in his hands and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Throwing on first is Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
The ball comes out, and this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They start the drive with a give to Allen. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Eric Armstead able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. Turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team. 2nd
and 10 now from the 27. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Hodges. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He can't get him down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Wentz trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. And even 40 yards
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now out comes Minnesota. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Hurry up. Hey, Rocket.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, left.
Throwing again. Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll run with Allen. Down to about the 22 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Off the play fake here, Rivers. And this is caught at the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Throwing, Rivers. And it'll be intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
5-7.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Trey 15.
Wentz now on 1st down. Lets it go for Nelson. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Cards continue to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
After the run, here's 2nd and 8 from the 27.
12.
2nd down, Rivers. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's 3rd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Yeah, Rocket.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play there for Arizona. 42 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 4. Sunday.
Here's a give to Mixon. Down right around the 25. The safety Calvin Pryor is there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wentz to throw on second down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Anthony Barr. In from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And now out comes Minnesota. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Buffalo Wall.
And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Stay there. Stay there. Set. Green 80.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 32. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Wentz now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Wentz going to throw. Oh, he stays up, and now he's swallowed up and taken down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. Carlson now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys. But be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Wentz on 3rd down. It's caught. Nelson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. He's been big, too. Touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run again with Breida. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
Ito Smith, his first carry. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Slow.
Here's Breida. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. It's complete to Fuller. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you... And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, throwing over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On play action, they'll throw. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. A strong running. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way. Now it's Breida. And he'll go down
shy of the 40 at the 41. Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Slow.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now they'll throw with Taylor. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From midfield now, here's Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Steps away to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 12 more yards there and another first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10.
Gone!
They'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to throw now on second and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll look to throw. And it's Incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Carlson able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A first down carry for Smith. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. This is Breida. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 30. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 41 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Flag 32. Flag 32. Strip that ball. Strip that ball.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hey. We got four. We got four down. 4 down.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
4 down. 4 down.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they will take a knee here. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
We got 4. We got 4.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Arizona, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.